Okay, so today we're going to do the Boisset Ambassador presentation, and we're going to go over the Boisset story, our wines, and the luxury collection in our portfolio, and what it looks like to become a wine ambassador. So the wine world is calling. This is Jean-Charles Boisset, the owner and proprietor of the company. He says, I invite you to join me as an ambassador for the Boisset collection, experience a flexible, rewarding career in the world of wine. He is someone who is really incredible, extremely dynamic, charming, passionate, innovative. He's the kind of person that when you meet him, you're really taken by just his vision. And not only that, he is so welcoming to each and every person you meet. So he's wonderful to be around and just learn from just being around his presence. So that's Jean-Charles. We'll learn more about him. But his family, he grew up in a family that was just a wine family. The company Boisset Collection started with Jean-Claude Boisset, who is his father on the left-hand side here, and then also his mother Claudine. So both of them started the collection in the 1960s in Burgundy, France, which is where his family grew up. It's a small town in Burgundy, actually, but it's there that they started to collect wine, start to share wine, really right in their living room. So this is the influence that created the vision for the current Boisset Ambassador program as we know it today, which is, from Jean-Charles' experience in his own home, having people over, seeing his family, his parents, his grandparents, open up bottles of wine, talk about those wines, and share those wines right there in the home. And that's the way that he feels is the best way to share wine, because you're really, having moments to be with one another and just share and talk and connect and have fun. So that is the beauty of what we do. It's really about sharing, connecting, having fun, and indulging the wine experience. So his first winery was in 2003, Deloach Vineyards in Sonoma. That was the first acquisition, all the way up to 2016, which is our latest acquisition, which is a Wattle Creek Winery, which has a tasting room in San Francisco. They also have vineyards in the Alexander Valley. So, and as I mentioned, in 2012, the Wine Ambassadors program was launched. So we're still fresh, program, an up-and-coming program, which is really, really exciting. Our portfolio includes about 25 different wineries from France and California. These are just some of our brands, but just gives you an idea of the breadth of wines and wineries that we work with. Everything from more casual, everyday wines to beautiful collectible wines, Napa Valley Cabernets to Burgundies from France. So we have a lot to work with. So we can really work with a palate that is just beginning to taste wine, all the way up to the connoisseur who is collecting and has a wine cellar. We have plenty of awards. Our latest top level award being the Surrealist. We just got 100 points. So that's a huge accomplishment. But we have so many other awards for wines that you can always look up in our press area of our website. Now here's our wine team. We've got Stephanie Putnam, who is our head winemaker at Raymond. Brian Maloney is our head winemaker at Buena Vista, as well as Deloach Vineyards. So Stephanie's more your big reds. She's all about Cabernet. She is a pint-sized lady, but she's got like a huge impact in the wine world, quite frankly, just even before her time at Boisset. Brian really has a finesse with Pinot Noir, which is what Deloach is known for, as well as a lot of different other wines. Katie Carter is our younger winemaker. She was a protege of Brian, who is now leading the charge and head winemaker at Wattle Creek Vineyards, as well as Lee. And then lastly is Marnie Old. She is our wine, our sommelier, actually. She's the sommelier for our program. She's the one who gives us excellent wine education every month. And she's available for questions. But she is, I wish I had my book with me, but she and Jean-Charles just recently wrote a book that's really interesting. They use lots of great images and lots of great analogies and ways for us to make wine learning and education really easy, accessible, and memorable. So she does wine education with us once a month, as I mentioned. Okay, so this is just gives you some idea of some of our properties and what they look like. They all have the Jean-Charles Boisset touch, very vibrant, very colorful. It's kind of like Salvador Dali and some of his spaces. He is just all about the fantasy, the romance, like bringing people into our world. So that is what the experience is when you go into our properties. And we do have a retreat in February. So as ambassadors, you would be welcome to come to that and enjoy these properties firsthand, sometimes with Jean-Charles himself. Now, if you're a numbers person, this might be interesting to you to find out what are the trends in the wine industry. It's a over $40 billion industry. The US is consistently growing in terms of consumption. So we're in a great market with a lot of growth happening. I always find this very interesting. For our wine society, which is our wine club, we'll talk more about that. The average bottle price that people pay for a bottle of wine is $38.75. So to note, we deal in the luxury wine market. Luxury really is about $20 and over wines. So that's where we live. And so a lot of our wines are really, in that $35 area. So we do have wines that are under 20. But then our sweet spot is really, I think, in the $35 range. So this bottle price is what people expect to pay when they become members of a society. They want quality wines. They expect to pay for it. And so we're really, really in a good place there. Also, another area that's interesting is that the millennials, apparently a lot of them drink wine every day, which I have no shame with that because that's about my daily diet. That's okay. But it's kind of good to know that millennials are on that trend. And a great place to find millennials is they're all over Instagram. I mean, they're going to be following you. It's a great place to have conversations with people about wine. If you're someone who's into social media. So these are just some things to kind of keep in mind. So just an overview of how the wine industry works. Traditional wine industry from winery to consumer is from the winery to a sales rep, to the distributor, to the store, like a Costco, a Rouse, or whatever the retail location is, and then to the consumer. Now, we're in the area of the wine industry called direct to consumer, which means that there's really no middle person between the winery and the end user or the buyer. So one area of direct to consumer sales is the tasting room. And that's where you have, of course, people coming into the tasting room, tasting, enjoying, purchasing, usually on the spot. So that tasting room is going to be able to get their wines to that consumer. In our case, as a wine ambassador, we have a portfolio of wineries, the 25 different wineries that when we taste with our clients, they can purchase through us to acquire any of those wines. So we have so much more range, and that's some of the beauty of what we are able to provide for our customers. I'm going to skip this. We're open in a lot of different states, not every state, but we've got more and more states are becoming open. So here's the Boisset Ambassador Program. I love this. BYOB. Be your own boss. So a little twist on the traditional BYOB, right? So our motto is cultivate, curate, and celebrate. Cultivate your relationship. Our business is a relationship business. It's a luxury business. So in luxury businesses, it is about relationships first. So as you cultivate your relationships, you are eligible to earn up to 35% in commissions. You don't have to carry any inventory. Everything's coming from the winery. Curation, so curating our wines and winery experiences. And celebrate. So we have lots of perks and incentives and an annual trip to France. Everyone's eligible to do that if you're working in business. So we have 6 ways to earn through wine tasting experiences, our wine society memberships, corporate sales and custom labels, online sales through, we have a jewelry line, which is another little add-on you can do, and of course, growing a team. So I'm going to go through each of these in a little bit more detail. So the tasting experience, how many of you have been to a tasting experience before? One of our tasting experiences? Sandra, Jesse, okay, awesome. Okay, so you know what that's about, right? So you as the ambassador are there to just really help the guests have fun, help the guests get a sense or a taste of what this wine life is about through our wines. So there's always about 6 different wines that are presented. The host pays for those wines typically, unless you are self-hosting. You can always do that as often as you want to market your business or share your wines with your network. But the host typically will pay for the wines. We come in for the wines and tell a little bit about each wine, like the aromas, the flavors, the history of the wineries, and like any kind of interesting stories that we might have about those wines. And of course, anything that stands out for you, your personal preferences about the wines. You share all of that at the tasting experience. And at the end of that experience, the guests are invited to order the wines, and they typically do. And as a result, we get a commission off of sales. So that's how that piece works. And it's a very, important part of our business because so much happens at the tasting, and it's a place where you can really introduce a lot of what we do to the guests at that event. So tasting experiences. Next is our wine society, which is really, really, really exciting. If you know anything about residual income, you'll understand why this is a great piece of our business. The wine society is our version of a wine club. The beautiful thing about our wine society is that it is totally customizable and flexible to the client. So they can go in anytime and select which wines they want to receive as part of their membership. Now, the company will curate a selection of wines for the client, so they don't have to decide. You might have someone who wants to get something different every time. Maybe they just want to get their wine in the mail. They want to be surprised. Totally cool. Have a lot of people like that. I love that. But then you have other people who just like champagne and sparkling wine, like Nina. So, you might want to have, people might like to go on and curate their own selection. So with that, they can do that. They can get 3 bottles, 6 bottles, or 12 bottles every month, every other month, or every 3 months. So again, lots of flexibility. They can skip, but anytime their shipment goes out, you're going to get your commission based on their shipment and based on whatever level you're at. So that is a huge part of the business. I mean, you're just getting automatic income every month that you have shipments going out. And again, another benefit to the client is that they're going to save 20% on their wine purchases, whether that be in the shipment or any other orders. And also when they reorder their wine, they will get a 30% savings. And they get also invitations to winery events. So, and complimentary tastings at our wineries as well. So a lot of good stuff with the Wine Society. Online sales and social media. So if you're someone who is into social media, if you're good with that, if you're comfortable there, if you want to explore that area more, you can, like Sheila's really good on social media. She's consistent. She puts out really great images and keeps her followers interested in what she's doing. So you can leverage some of the images that we have. There's a lot of great Boisset images out there that are creative and fun and sexy and inspire curiosity. So you can use all that to keep driving people to your website. And this is really interesting too. I read a recent survey, it was a recent survey about more and more people are beginning to just take the recommendations of their friends and family on which kind of wines to buy. And not only that, they're buying more of those wines online. There's a trending up of wines being purchased online. So that's great for us. So if you're someone who can develop this piece of your business, I think you're going to be on track to start seeing some activity there. Okay, this is awesome too. One of the things I love about our company and a lot of ambassadors love is that we have the ability to have corporate accounts and corporate is gifts as well as custom labels. So all that's part of our corporate gift accounts. These are really, really great, especially, I mean, any time of year you can work with the custom label program, but they just blow up during the holidays. So we get custom label cases just left and right. And we have, I think, 5 or 6 different wines that you can use for a custom label. We can also do custom etching. But again, really great piece of our business. Once you get a business, let's say, who wants to do custom label wines as a thank you gift, they're often going to be reordering from you because that's just their go-to thank you gift. So it's a great piece of business to explore. And also, of course, things like personal parties, holidays, obviously, but birthdays, weddings, retirements, those kind of things. So as I talked about the jewelry, this is a great add-on piece of our business. It's great to have just a couple pieces with your wine tasting. You don't have to do a whole setup, and you don't have to do a setup at all, quite frankly. But if you're into that and you like it, or you want to wear a couple pieces, they're a great conversation starter. I get so many compliments when I'm wearing a couple of the pieces that we have. So it just allows me to start a conversation about what I do, what I offer, and tell the story about our wines and how they relate to jewelry. So it's kind of fun. But the pieces range anywhere from about $150 to $250 or so. So it's nice, especially during this time of year when people are looking for gifts, and you can offer jewelry as well. And we do have cufflinks as well, Jesse. And and not only that, most all of our jewelry pieces, like our necklaces, are pins as well. So a lot of the men, at least in our company, wear them on their lapel. So it's kind of fun too.
Sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. So grow and mentor a team, one of my favorite things to do. There's nothing like working with people that you like, that you have fun with, who share a similar passion as you. And that passion may be anything from entrepreneurialism to travel to wine to being someone who likes to party and have a good time and love life, or growing a team is been a great place for developing great friendships. So, and also, of course, as you support your team, the company is going to reward you for that. If you're having a team that's doing well, if you're helping people meet their goals, then you're going to get additional commissions and support in that world as well. Okay. And you don't have any restrictions on where you can grow a team. It's open wherever, any state that we have open. And rewards. Okay, so we do all of our retreats in Napa and Sonoma. So sometimes there's little incentives that go with that. Like, for example, this month we have the Suite Life, so you can earn a suite at retreat by meeting certain milestones. We also do the annual trip to France, which has been awesome. I've gone every year. I've taken my mom, I've taken my husband. So it's really incredible. And when you go to France, you get to visit all of our well, not all, but we get to visit some of our notable properties in France. Oh my God, we get treated to so much incredible wine, incredible meals. So it's definitely something worth going for. The retreat has 2 qualification periods. The trip to France has 2 qualification periods. So the next qualification period will start February 1st and go until July. And then it'll be August 1st until the end of January. So keep that in mind for when you get started, and we'll come up with a plan to, how to get you there. So let's see, Jumpstart. So when you start with the ambassador program, we want to really acknowledge you. We want to reward you. We want you to, go. We want you to run. We want you to go for everything you want to go for in your first 90 days. And so we give you some bonuses in that time period. Everything from or just credits that you can use for wine, for some supplies, for jewelry if you want to. But in your first 90 days, you can earn hundreds to thousands in product credit. So that's something we could talk more about when you get started. Okay, so just to take a real quick break there. Does anyone have any questions so far on what I have reviewed?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, awesome, great. Okay, so how do you get started? So it's really, really simple. You enroll online. We will assist you with your launch tasting. So Sandra, where are you based?
I live part-time in Santa Monica and part-time in Northern California.
Oh, just like Nina, kind of.
Yes, we're quite alike like that.
Very interesting. Okay, very, very cool.
We're back and forth.
Be bopping around.
But yeah, be bopping around. All right, well, great. So typically what happens is that your sponsoring ambassador will host your first tasting for you, like lead that tasting for you. So it's an opportunity for you to get additional training on how to do the tasting.
Thank God, Michonne, when you did my first time. Oh my God.
Exactly. Yeah, but we like to do that. So it's like I do it first as your sponsor. We do it together next, and then you are on your own third. So it's I do, we do, you do. You're always supported no matter what, but just so you know, you're never on your own your first time. Okay, so host your launch tasting. We certainly recommend you do that within the first couple of weeks of launching your business or enrolling, and then growing your business from there. We have a lot of tools and support to help you grow your business. We do support training calls once a month with just our organization. The company does weekly calls to give you training on, again, like wine education plus business education and training. We have a monthly meeting in Los Angeles and also in the Bay Area, quite a few ambassadors up there. So we do have meetings in the Bay Area. And what's very exciting too, we have lots of online training. So you can do all kinds of modules on different areas of the business to support you in growing your business. So the other thing that you get with your ambassador business is the seller suite. This is your personalized website. You probably have all seen Nina's website. This is your personal website. It's your online wine store. You can see all your reports. You see all of your sales. You can see all your team sales. It's got the marketing materials there. It hosts your training. All kinds of stuff is there. So it's $14 a month or $120 annually, but it does come, you get it free for 90 days with your enrollment. So we have a couple of different programs or kits: the Socialite, the Enthusiast, or the Inspiring Song. So I'll go through each. Okay. The Socialite is $149, and it comes with 3 bottles of wine and a couple different pieces of marketing material that you can use at your tastings or when you're out and about, you want to share about the business with people that you're speaking with. This is a great just get involved kind of a kit, and it gives you 3 bottles of wine. The Socialite. The Enthusiast, I believe, is $349, is it? Yeah, $349. And it comes with 1 tasting flight, which is the 6 bottles of wine. It comes with the 12 Riedel crystal wine glasses. The marketing materials come with posi pours, which allow you to pour just 1 ounce of wine per person, which is great. As you're doing a tasting, we just pour 1 ounce of wine per guest. It also comes with the book I was mentioning, which is called Passion for Wine, that Jean-Charles and Marnie Old, our sommelier, co-wrote together, and it's just dynamic. It's awesome. You have to have that book. I call it the ambassador, what do you call it, textbook. So it's beautiful. It's a great gift book as well. So that one's $349. And then the Aspiring Psalm. This comes with 2 tasting flights, the classic tasting flight and the reserve tasting flight, for a total of 12 bottles of wine, plus the wine glasses and a roller bag to hold the wine or different supplies. So that's a great kit. That one is $549. So the thing is, though, and this is really exciting, is that just until the end of this month, the company decided to try something new, and they launched something called the Go Green Kit. The Go Green Kit is awesome. It does not come with anything. It doesn't come with anything. It doesn't come with the marketing materials, but what it does allow you to do is access the program the platform, the Seller Suite platform, which hosts all of your marketing materials and brochures and wine lists and training and reports, all of that it will come with. So all that stuff is just on there digitally, right, as PDFs. So it allows you to get all your commissions just the same as anything else. It allows you to be eligible for all the Jumpstart credits, but it only costs about the cost of a bottle of wine. So for $42, you can actually get access to our ambassador program, which I think is really incredible. So that's only going on to the end of this month. It's, again, a one-time enrollment fee of $42. It includes 3 months of the Seller Suite, plus access to the program and the training and all that, and opportunity to earn your commissions right away. So that's what we've got going on. That is our business. That's what we do. And I hope that gave you a little bit of insight into our program. So anyone have any questions or comments or feedback?
I have a comment. It
Yes.
sounds like a very, very good program. My other question, the other comment is, how, well, I never mind. I guess you answered the question. So
Okay.
you do, I do, we do. Yeah. So I got that already. Thank you.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, was the question just about like how would we support you, or
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so a couple of different, I mean, there's a couple of things. Yes, there's the idea that you do in terms of, I don't want to get my website up, in terms of your tasting, but then we'll also start you on the modules, the learning modules that are in the back office that you would be able to see. And that there's a whole getting started module for that.
Okay.
And then, you know, the trainings and stuff. So you would really be able to, and then also, of course, myself and Nina would take you through step by step on what to do and how to get started. And Nina was very, very successful, I think, with doing consistent tastings and, you know, pounding the champavement, as she likes to say.
I love doing tastings, and I think what is so versatile about this is that, like, you don't really have to do tastings unless you want to, you know, because there is that whole opportunity to just really hit hard with the online business and marketing it that way, or corporate custom labeling and, you know, tapping into that. For me, I think it's just the nature of the performer. I like love to do the tasting show, or so I enjoy it. It's fun. So if I had, you know, an ambassador who you know, needed help and guidance and wanted support to do tastings, I would just be involved as much as possible because it's fun for me. So,
show must go on.
Yeah. Always tap dancing.
Can I add something about tastings?
What's that?
I wanted to add something about tastings. I originally thought I would not want to do a lot of tastings. And one thing I can say about, you know, having done them, because I would just go to other people's tastings to see how they do it and just to see how, you know, just how they flowed and that sort of thing. And then once I did my own tastings, I really enjoyed it. And it helped me to understand and kind of cultivate new ways to help people expand their palates, to see what people like, to hear their comments about the wine. It just helps you to get to know your customer more, and the kinds of questions and concerns and situations that can come up. And it's helped me really be able to understand more about, you know, our wine portfolio and how people respond to the wines and how to make recommendations, you know, within our portfolio as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is a good point. Just real quick, I'll show you quickly. This is the Seller Suite. This is your website, of course. But I'm going to take you to the back office, the Seller Suite, just to see a little bit what it looks like. So you can see your sales, your team sales, your France points. But mostly what I want to point out is this resource center and the training modules. So you've got this whole resource center back here. It loads pretty slow when I'm on Zoom. It loads faster than that in real life. It's just slow on the Zoom. So here's getting started. build my business,
Okay.
learn about wine, leadership, and all the resources that you'll need. You can kind of source them and find them here, like the shareable images. But just to give you an idea, like this is kind of what you'll have to go at your own pace, and you can check that out anytime.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So if you're interested in enrolling again, certainly I would do it soon, just to take advantage of the $42. Now, here's the way to make the most of that $42 special. So what I talked about earlier with the Jumpstart, I said that there's certain levels to get to with the Jumpstart, and you're eligible for credits. So with the $42 package, and why it kind of serves you better to go with this one instead of some of those larger packages is because you can enter for 42, and then when you're enrolling, go ahead and purchase separately some wine, like some of the wine flights. I would do like 1 or 2 wine flights that you can self-host right away. If you want glasses, you can get glasses, but I would probably do something like get a tasting flight or 2 of wine, plus like 3, plus join the wine society, so you can get the 20% savings, right? So you get 20% savings out the door because you're going to enroll in the wine society. You'll enroll with, you need to minimum of 3 bottles to enroll. So let's say you ordered yourself 3 or 6 bottles to get started with the wine society. On top of that, ordering a tasting flight or 2, you can save 50% on tasting flights because that's just what we do for every host. So I would put that in and maybe do 2, 2 tasting flights. You can do 1 for your launch tasting, and then 1 to have as a backup and do a secondary launch tasting for those people who couldn't make the first one. And all of that volume is going to go towards your Jumpstart. So with those kits that I showed you, we don't get credit for that. We don't get any commission from kids, and neither do you. So when you do the $42 kit and you order wine separately, that's going to all go to your volume. It's going to help you get your Jumpstart right away. So the sooner you do a tasting as well, right? So as soon as you do a tasting as well, you're going to also enroll a couple of wine society members at that tasting. That's going to give you $25 credit for each wine society member. And as soon as you get to $750 in sales during your Jumpstart period, you'll get a $100 credit as well to use on additional purchases. So your first purchases on this first enrollment is going to all help you in the back end get more credits, in your first 90 days. So that's why it's a great way to go.
Right.
And so anyway, that's my spiel. To enroll, you would go to Nina's website address.
Yes.
And you have to join right here at the top, become an ambassador, which is what we just did. And you can scroll down and you can choose which business kit you want. And Nina, you can kind of help, work with Jesse and Sandra to see which kit that would be best for them. But obviously I think the Go Green is the best option, and it's a great way to just get started. So,
because you get if you go with the Go Green, I mean, really, what I figured out is like if you go with the Go Green, you join the wine society and you spend about $250 in wine. Not only are you getting your 20% off, you're actually getting your money back from joining.
Oh, that's right.
So you're able to get paid on that and get the discount and like qualify and start going towards your Jumpstart. And then you have all this wine that you're able to share, and pour. And I mean, I was shocked when I first signed up and got all my stuff, and I did a launch tasting, and then I had I booked a couple after that. And my first month, I signed up like 24 people in the first month.
24 wine society members.
24 members, wine clients,
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was right around, the holidays, which helps. But people love it. I still get members, all the time, and if they don't join, they definitely shop when they buy. So
okay.
I sell at every.
It sounds great.
All right.
It sounds great.
Well,
I like it because it kind of it could also help the other side of my other business, the travel thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can do like a double whammy, I guess,
Well, it really
presentation or
goes
something.
together, I think, you know, wine and
Yeah,
alcohol, you know,
travel. Yeah, absolutely.
part of that
Absolutely.
whole lifestyle thing, you know.
And
Yeah.
music and wine.
And
as
music
well,
and wine.
too. That's for
right,
sure.
baby.
Exactly.
Well, ladies, I really want to thank you
Thank
for
you.
the presentation. I really
Thanks,
appreciate
Jesse.
it. Yeah, no problem. I'll call you later, Nina. But
Okay,
thank you,
love.
Michonne. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you.
I have a wife that I need to kind of just run this by, and you know,
All right.
I'll see where I go from there. But thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Love
Jesse.
you.
Thank you.
Love you too, babe.
Talk to you
I'll
later. Bye,
talk to you
Jesse.
guys soon. Okay,
And
bye-bye.
Sandra, thank you so much too
Bye-bye.
for joining us. Bye, Jesse.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. It was very interesting, and I love the whole concept. It sounds really good.
Good.
So
Well,
okay, thank
I'm gonna follow
you.
up with you. Nina, you can give Sandra a call today as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll follow up. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Bye,
Happy
love.
holidays.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Michonne.
Bye.
Bye.